Hi guys, it's Kimberly, and today's video is going to be a palette review. So if you haven't seen, in my last video that I posted, it was a BoxyCharm unboxing for the month of June, and I got the Shared Planet Polar Bear Collection palette in the box, and it is super interesting to me. I've never heard of the company before, and I've never seen this palette, obviously, and so I'm super excited. I did get a bunch of comments on that video about how lucky I was to be one of the people who got this palette, and so that just piqued my interest even more, and I can't wait to play with it and put it on my eyes. So that is what we are going to be doing today. For the first time, I'm going to be putting this on and giving you guys my thoughts about it. So this is the palette right here. It's like this beautiful holographic material, and it's got almost like a icy, smoky background to it. It's really eye-catching. I'm not personally a huge fan of when packaging is like this. I feel like for me, it's like a little bit hard to look at. I don't know, it kind of hurts my eyes. It's really cool, don't get me wrong, and beautiful, but I kind of think it might be a little much. But this company seems to be pretty cool. So it's called Shared Planet, and from what I've been told in comments on my video, there are two palettes that they have. They have a polar bear one and a tiger one, and it pretty much seems like they do this for endangered animals, and that a percentage of their proceeds goes to animal-related charities. So that's pretty cool. It comes in this little sleeve right here, and you slide it out, and the palette looks pretty much exactly the same. And on the back of the sleeve, it gives you all the ingredients. Again, I feel like with the white writing, it's just kind of hard to read and hard to focus on, but it's really pretty. And then on the back of the palette here, it's got some text, and it says, "Inspired by the reflective, icy hues of the Arctic, Shared Planet's Polar Bear palette combines a selection of 12 richly pigmented shades ranging from brilliant violets and diamond blues to stunning metallic silver and rich black. Combined, the shades blend seamlessly to create the perfect cool-toned smoky eye." So that's what it says. It is vegan and cruelty-free, and there are 12 shades, and it's got a really sturdy mirror and then a bunch of shadows. So like I said, I think it's kind of hard to read with the white writing on this reflective thing. I do really like the reflective. I think it's really pretty. I just think it's a little much that it's the inside, the outside, and the unicarton. I feel like if it was the unicarton and then this wasn't, that'd be cool. Even if it was the unicarton and the outside of the palette, that would be cool. But I feel like it kind of makes the shadows look less impressive when they're up against this. These I've swatched in that video. Avalanche, Glacier, and I think Sub-Zero were the ones that I swatched, and maybe Arctic, and they were beautiful. Sub-Zero was a little but the foiled shades were gorgeous, but I feel like they almost look not as impressive in the palette because of how reflective and shiny and crazy the background of the packaging is. That's just me being nitpicky, but that's my honest opinion. It's got a really nice quality mirror right here, and it's pretty heavy feeling. This has definitely got some weight to it, and it's a magnetic closure, just like that. So overall, I feel like the palette feels really high quality, and it looks beautiful. So let's do some swatches. So here are all the swatches from the top row, and I will go from top to bottom. The first shade right here is a matte shade, and this is the shade Cub. And then we have this shimmery foiled shades, Icy, Prism, Polar, Frosted, and then one more matte shade, Chili. All of these shades are really beautiful. I do feel like the matte shades are a little less pigmented, but they seem to blend fine. We'll see in the next row Sub-Zero, because that was the only matte shade that I swatched in my unboxing video, but it did come out a little patchy in the unboxing video, but I did have a lot of lotions on my hand and arms, so that may have kind of swayed things there. So that is row 1. Let's go see what row 2 looks like. All right, so there is row 2, which honestly looks so much more fun and exciting than row 1 did. Row 1 was very neutral and just light in tone, and then these are the colorful bang shades, so I love that. Top shade here is Sub-Zero, which is the patchy one that I originally swatched. And I definitely think as far as finger swatches goes, their shimmer formula shines and their matte formulas kinda, it didn't come up patchy just now, but it came up like not very pigmented at all, just very light. So we'll see how it applies with the brush on the eyes, because swatches are not everything, but that's what I'm seeing for that shade at the moment. I definitely think that is the worst swatching shade in the palette. Next we have Avalanche, which is beautiful light baby blue, and then we have Glacier, Aurora, Arctic, and then Black Ice. I think Black Ice is the most impressive matte shade that they have. All of these shades are shimmers, and then the top and the bottom are mattes. The black, very pigmented. This is just one swipe. I didn't go back and forth, nothing, and I thought that was extremely impressive. So yeah, time to go for a look. I'm thinking I want to do something out of my comfort zone. For those who have been around, I have talked about how blue is not my comfort zone, and there are gorgeous blues in here, so I want to dive in with them and give it a shot. And also, I did notice that I have gained a lot of new subscribers from my last video, from my BoxyCharm video. So thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope that you can continue to support and enjoy all the videos that I put out there, and I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna definitely try and incorporate both of these blue shadows. So let's get into it. All right, so I obviously already have all of my face makeup done, and I'm just gonna go straight into the eyes. I'm gonna go in with a big fluffy brush. This is the Morphe JH32, and I am going to go into this top shade right here called Cub. It is a matte tan shade, and I'm just gonna use this all in the crease as my transition shade. I think I'm gonna go for more of a cool tone gray and blue eye, and I think that will be really pretty. All right, so that shade is not too much darker than my skin tone, so it shouldn't really show up too much, but I feel like that laid down nice and evenly and smooth, so can't be mad about that. The next thing we're gonna go in with is, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a smaller kind of flattened fluffy brush like this. This is the Morphe JH45, and I'm gonna take this into this shade right here, Chili, which is the gray matte shade, and I'm just gonna get it on the tip of the brush like this, and I'm going to tap that into my crease starting in the outer corner and just kind of build up. Oh yeah, that is very pigmented. Okay, build up some pigment right in the crease, and I'm gonna go about halfway with it, just like that. And then I'm gonna go back in and just kind of flip-flop between that fluffy brush and that brush to build up the intensity and blend it out. Now, with that same kind of packer brush I was using for the gray shade, I'm gonna dip ever so slightly into this Black Ice shade. I mean, just a pinch. I don't want this to get too dark, not yet, at least. And I'm going to place this just in the very outer corner, just to add a little bit more depth. And again, I'm just gonna blend it out with this fluffy brush. Perfect, so now that I have that kind of base in the crease of that cool gray smokiness, I'm gonna go in with my finger, which is my favorite tool when it comes to using shimmer shades, and I'm gonna go into this Royal Blue Glacier shade, and I am just going to pop that all over the lid, but kind of just avoid the very inner corner area and kind of try and keep that as blank as I can. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. And I'm just gonna go back with this brush and blend out the edges. And now, since I'm gonna try and get into that inner corner, I'm not gonna use my finger because I don't want it to get too messy. I'm gonna go in with a little flat brush like this one. This is, what is this? Luxie 211. It's a concealer brush, but I do like it for this. And I'm gonna go in with this light blue, beautiful shade in Avalanche, and I'm going to put that on the inner portion of my lid. Just like that. That is perfect. I love that shade. That is gorgeous. Unfortunately, I did have a little bit of fallout right here, and when I move my face right, I'm sure you can see, yeah. The pigment washed away, but the glitter stayed, so now I'm kind of like blue glittery underneath my eye, so I'll have to fix that a little bit later. But as far as the shadow goes on the eye, it's gorgeous. But just something to keep in mind, I did have a little bit of fallout happening with those blue shadows. Now I'm just gonna take a little pencil brush. This is the Morphe JH38, and I am going to go in with just a pinch of the gray shade Chili, and I'm gonna run that along my lower lash line, but just about halfway on the outer side. Now with another pencil brush, this is the Morphe JH52, but just any pencil brush, I'm gonna dip back into that shimmery baby blue shade Avalanche, and I'm going to put that on the lower lash line on the inner portion where we didn't already put the gray. I just love having that bright shimmery on the inner corner. It just really opens up the eye, and I love that. And then lastly, I'm gonna go in with this little tiny detail brush right there. This is the Morphe M213, and I'm just gonna go into this shade Polar right here because it's an icy white with kind of a light blue reflect in it. So I feel like it'll pair perfect with the look, and I'm gonna put this on the inner corner of the eye to really brighten things up. Perfect. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, so that is both eyes done right there, and I put on lashes. I put on, of course, D-Star lashes, and these are in the style Daisy. I love these, and I feel like they give that kind of spiky vibe, which is so fun to have that little blue peek through, so love that. And then for my lips, I actually used, for my BoxyCharm unboxing, the Beauty Volt lip liner, and this one is in the shade Cozy Kira, just to try it out, and I really like this, so I definitely give this a thumbs up as well. And then I used my Milani lipstick in Nude Cream, so love that all together. I feel like the look came out really good, and I love it. So my overall thoughts on this palette: I do really like it. I think that it swatches kind of poorly, especially the matte shades. However, swatches are not everything, and what it really comes down to is how it performs on the eyes, right? I mean, they're eyeshadows. It's really just, do they perform well when they're supposed to? Not so much on your arm. So for that reason, I do love this palette. I think it looks beautiful on the eyes. The sparkly shadows, this, especially this light blue Avalanche shade, I mean, oh my gosh, steal the show. That is so beautiful. It makes me want to use blue eyeshadow more. Like you guys know, I'm not really a blue eyeshadow kind of a girl, but that is just stunning. Like, you can't even refute that. Beautiful shade. So overall, I'm so happy with the way I got my look to turn out, and I really like this. I feel like it's a color story I don't really have too much in palettes, so I really like that. And this shade Aurora, I know I didn't use that, but that is like my soul. I love that kind of dusty rose metallic shade. That is beautiful. I'm definitely using that in the future. But yeah, overall, I love this palette, and I love the message that it gives. I know somebody had told me they only have 2 palettes. I definitely have to go to their website and check them out. But the fact that they're advocating for endangered animals and trying to do something good for the planet, I feel like that is a great message. And it's nice to kind of tie it into makeup and just get the word out and make people think. So I really like that, and it's definitely a company that I look forward to supporting in the future. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!